Hey, everybody. Welcome to Love+Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I'm actually joined today with a special co-host, Hubert Zadorek, a professor at the University of Texas at Dallas, Jindal School of Management, the department leader. I mean, just the all-around amazing guy here. Hubert, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. So thank you so much for inviting me, Ben. It's a great to be for the first time in your studio, wonderful studio, and with your colleagues.
Yeah, we got super producer Adam over here. We kicked out everybody else, so we have a little privacy here. We're gonna make a little noise, have some fun here. Get in the comments right now if you're checking in. Hit that like button. I want to know what you are doing out there. Shout out your company. We'll give you a shout out. We are going to be doing our third and last episode recapping the FEM conference that's coming to Dallas May 3rd and 4th, which UTD is kind of providing the backdrop for here. Hubert, you want to just kind of plug that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. We are super excited to be collaborating with FEM to deliver the FEM Summit at the University of Texas at Dallas. It's coming up, as you mentioned, on May 3rd and May 4th. It looks like it's an amazing opportunity for us to become a platform for global mobility at the University of Texas, Dallas, and in Dallas, because there's so much excitement that's being generated through this event.
Yeah, and it's really cool because it feels like to me, Dallas is becoming like an epicenter for global mobility, at least in the Americas. I mean, for a long time, Connecticut was kind of at the heart of it, and Chicago was super important. And now I'm feeling like Dallas, between the work you're doing at UTD, FEM being here, some of the really cool stuff, Global being, just a myriad things, right? That's making Dallas so important on the world stage. By the way, also, we are giving away registrations to some events today too. So we're going to bring Claire Tennant-Skull out as well. We've got corporate folks. We've got Joe Lee from DS Americas Corporation. We've got Marie Butler from Wood, Nakunj Namal from Amazon. We've got students who are participating in the case competition live at FEM. And without further ado, Claire Tennant-Skull here from FEM. How are you doing, Claire?
Hi, hello again. Yes, really great to be back. Thanks, Ben.
Nice to see you. It's wonderful having you here.
Thank you. And good to see Hubert as well. We've been conversing quite a lot over Teams and so on for several months, but I saw him in November. So yeah, looking forward to actually seeing him in 3D properly.
So we got people checking in here. We got Deb Convery checking in. Hello, Ben, Professor Zadorek. Looking forward to the session day and seeing you at FEM in a few weeks. Yes, Deb. Can't wait to give you a big old hug. It's gonna be great. Hey, everyone, not long ago, register. Yes, register. We got a link in there. That's awesome. Nathan Brinker from Bristol checking in at 36,000 feet somewhere over New Mexico. I think Nathan's on the run from Interpol. That's great. Jillian Guzda, can't wait to be there. Excited to meet everyone at FEM. Our team, the Global team, will be there. We'll be 4 deep in the house here. It's going to be great. Check in the comments, put your name, shout out your company. Let me know what you're looking forward to most about the FEM conference. Emily Abrams, looking forward to see you there, Emily. Christina, Women of Global Mobility, would love to include your students who are interested in networking with women in our industry to learn and grow. Do you see an opportunity to include the females, the students to network with Women of Global Mobility?
Absolutely. Hubert? There is a large female representation at UT Dallas, especially we have quite a few leaders within the Global Mobility Club that would be super interested in joining. Yes.
Yeah, there's some amazing female students in that group that have been leading that group, to your point, for years now. Sarah checking in. Greetings from Seattle. What's up, Hosea Botley, also in Seattle. This is great. Yasmin. Yes, awesome. But Claire, you've got a really cool announcement. You're giving away something today, starting today. Want to tell people what they can win and how they can get involved?
Yes, well, I think being on your show last week, Ben, this show busy thing's rubbed off on us. So we thought we'd do a kind of giveaway, a prize giveaway. So we have 2 tickets for the Emmas, which, as you know, are the black tie gala dinner and the awards ceremony and party before and afterwards. So we have 2 tickets to give away, one to a corporate in-house professional and one to a service provider. And I believe all people have to do is click on the link that's going to tell them to subscribe to FEM. The draw will be open until midnight on Thursday night, Dallas time. And then we will do the final prize draw on Friday and announce the results. And the lucky winners will be able to join us at the dinner. So 3-course dinner, sparkling reception, all those other things, all the great sort of networking, and be able to see the results in person. So I believe you're going to be there streaming as people arrive, aren't you? Like the Oscars.
Yes. I will be there to document all the stars of global mobility as they enter in and all their resplendent and their black tie and ball gowns and all their their beauty. That's it's really cool. I can't wait to. This is a great giveaway you're doing here, Claire. Now people, I just want to recap for people. Hit the link where you register. Now this is just, you can just register, put your name on the FEM list. So they have your contact information. And then do they need a hashtag? Do they need to put something in the comments, Claire?
Yes, they actually need to do the subscribe. I think maybe one of my team will put the link up, or maybe Adam can do it for us. There's a link to subscribe, and that means that we can see those people who want to enter the competition. And if they put in the chat, here we go. Oh no, that's the table bookings. That's different. I think we've got a slight delay. If they also put in the chat hashtag FEM Americas, we can make sure that they're not missed out.
Okay, so I'm going to put it in here too. FEM Americas. Let me make sure I can still spell Americas. Okay, very good. So I've officially entered, and I don't want to win. So you need to also enter, okay? Because I've already got my ticket, so I'm going to be there. Okay, so now you have to enter, and we have one for a corporate attendee and one for a supplier attendee as well.
That's right. That's right. And it's the evening, on the evening of May 4th, and it's at the very elegant Alumni Center, the Davidson Gundy Alumni Center at the university. So it's going to be really exciting. I think we have one of the music scholars playing the piano for us at the reception as people arrive. So it's going to be, it's going to be so elegant.
Sounds beautiful.
And dancing afterwards. So it's not to be missed.
I think the piano might be more beautiful than the dancing, but you know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We'll see how the dancing is. Now, I know if Vinny Valverde is on the dance floor, it might be beautiful. Vinny. Here. Hello, Vinny saying hi, everyone. Cheers from Portland. Nice to see my friend Claire here. Yes. Girl power in the house, 100%. Sarah Schmidt. See everybody in Dallas. Yes, Sarah. Can't wait. Jana is excited. Everybody's getting excited here. Jana's over here. She's got her hat in the ring. Christina Arushi. That's all you have to do. Hashtag FEM Americas. And then you have to hit the link to subscribe, which is right here. It's just www.forum-expat-management.com/pages/subscribe. But the link is in there. Thank you so much for putting that in there. Claire, let's tell people what they have to look forward to today. Hit that like button, everybody, and let people know we're live, because we got some real stars coming up here today. So Claire, you want to let us know what we have to look forward to today?
Yes. Well, thank you, Ben. Last week, of course, we spoke to Krista Caldwell and Elizabeth Minter. We had a whole host of speakers, but we've got some more for you this week. And I'm really looking forward to their sessions too. So we have Joe Lee from DS Americas Corporation. He's going to be on one of our panels talking about policy design and, particularly in relation to our new normal, really, and, how those changed expectations are affecting, the way that businesses are having to attract and retain their talent. We have Marie Butler, who's going to be hosting a round table for corporates only on day 2. And she's also up for one of our awards at the Emmas. She's nominated for Global Mobility Professional of the Year. And that's the one that's voted for by the community. So again, that's going to be a really exciting award.
How does not that we're soliciting votes here, but how does the community vote?
Oh, we have a page on the website. I'm afraid the vote's closed now, but we have a page on the website. We publicized it on LinkedIn. It was all over. We've had I think around 2,000 votes, so it was a lot of people.
And how many of those were from Marie?
No.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We know. All will be revealed in May.
Yeah,
All will be revealed. People are rooting for Marie here. This is great.
Oh.
Christina say I'm going back on the circuit this month. I'd love for FEM to be the first stop before I head out to the West Coast. It would be amazing to see you,
Yes,
Christina. That'd be
come
fabulous. Yes, this is great. Well, Claire, should we get to it? Or actually, you know what? We also have something else going on this hour as well. Hubert, we're going to be talking to the students at UTD as part of the Global Mobility Club and the case competition. You want to just tease that real quick for everybody watching?
Yeah, absolutely. They've all worked very hard over the last couple of years, actually, to bring excitement about global mobility to UT Dallas. And now this is the round of the finals where all the students are now coming together and will be presenting in the final round at the FEM Summit. So the leadership is here with us, the leadership of the Global Mobility Club that has been set up at UT Dallas, who's been running this competition for a number of years, and they will be talking about the details, the topics, the engagement, and so on and so forth. So
yeah, and I can't wait. We've got let's see, we got Hunter Chan here, we got Ari Losa, we've got Jackson Passage, we got Mona Sheikh. This is going to be great. We're going to be talking to these students, and let's without further ado, let's get into the show and talk to some of these global mobility professionals. Claire, I bid you adieu until later.
Thank you. Adieu.
Adieu. All right. I speak French now. Did you know that? Fantastic. Let's go ahead and bring let's bring Marie out. Let's start with Marie here.
Hi.
Marie Butler from Wood. How are you doing, Marie?
Hi, I'm good. I love the setup and watching all the comments come in.
Yeah, it's fun. We got some really cool people checking in. Hit that like button and let Marie know you're out there here. Go ahead and plug yourself, your company, and don't forget to enter to win those Emma's tickets as well. Marie, I'm excited to have you on here. This is really cool. Can you tell us a little bit about, what are you going to be speaking about? Tell us a little bit about this Corporates Only Roundtable.
Thanks. It is going to be about immigration challenges in the current environment. Obviously, pandemic brought immigration to a screeching halt for a period of time. We had some touch and go moments, and there are still some lingering effects from that. And so we'll be talking about what people are experiencing and how have a few examples to talk through of how people may approach certain situations.
Now, I'm told this is a corporates only roundtable. I've never had the honor of sitting in on a corporates only roundtable, so I can only guess what goes on at these things. But can you tell us a little bit of how these are structured and what people who are corporates can expect, like the Debs and the Vinnies out there who are going to be joining?
Yep. So we'll talk through different visa categories. Like I said, I've got some examples. So talking about maybe the H-1B lottery. This year, we had an unprecedented number of registrations, which had some disheartening results. We may talk through how the COVID vaccine has made some challenges with people applying certain application processes for visas, even talking through the PERM green card process and maybe how that's been for recruitment lately. So just I'd like to really do a lot of brainstorming. So those that maybe are just stepping into mobility or maybe haven't had the pleasure of getting involved with immigration as much, a forum to talk through these live cases that I have, and would love to have those that attend the session to bring their own challenges to talk through.
I really love that concept of how it's not just about dispersing information, but it's about kind of workshopping these things. I feel like you learn more that way. Hubert, you're a professional educator. I mean, how does that work when you're workshopping versus kind of maybe just sitting in on a lecture?
Absolutely, it's applying theory it's applying practice to theory. The things that you learn on a daily basis in classroom, and then you actually get to sit down and do a lab or seminar type of activity where you practice in groups and solve some case problems.
Yeah. And then of course you get to turn to the person to your left or whatever and just get feedback from, on that idea that you just had. I mean, I think that's tremendous. Mary Lee Bratz checking in. Hello from sunny Minnesota. What could someone expect to take away, Marie, from, sitting in on this corporate only roundtable?
Hopefully it's just that you're not alone in frustrations. And I don't want to make it a misery loves company kind of environment, but hopefully it's seeing that we can offer our knowledge and expertise to the company, to our managers, to our employees, that yes, we have attorneys that we work with, but I've found that even though our attorneys may say, yes, we can do something, doesn't mean that it aligns with our company practice. And being able to have, I think, just arming yourself with knowledge to talk through situations with the business. I'm actually a former teacher. I left teaching 16 years ago. And I joke that I'm kind of a translator regarding immigration. I feel like I say the exact same things our attorneys say, but I try to use real world examples, use examples that are, there's one thing I relate to: the free chips at a Mexican restaurant. You can use it or not, but that's kind of what ancillary means.
Yeah.
So
hey, you had me at free chips. You know what? I tell you what. See, that's what's beautiful when you get a Texan on here, because now we start talking chips. I'm like, all right, let's go. I know something about this right here. I can't spell H1B, but I know free chips. All right. Yeah. So now we're talking here. I love it. Deb Convery says, love it all, Marie. All super relevant and timely topics. Jody Harris, us corporate people love to commiserate. That's the word I was going to use. At least you got some phone numbers you can call when you're like, I didn't get approved. Yeah. I didn't get selected.
No, I love a good brainstorming session. That's what it will be, hopefully.
This is great. And Jody's saying it actually helps to toss around ideas and come up with solutions. Love it. Roundtables are always about learning at FEM. So insightful. And I would be remiss if I did not bring up the fact that you are nominated this year for Global Mobility Professional of the Year in the Americas at the MS Glomo Pro. We might go by shorthand. I don't know. Anyway, how does that feel? And before you answer that, Sonu says, Marie gonna win. So how does it feel, Marie?
I hate to say I don't have the words, but it's been amazing. My nomination and reading what people have said, and internally feedback from people that I've worked with. I've been at Wood for quite a while, and it's just really nice. It's really heartwarming, and it's incredible. It's nice to have that recognition.
Well, it's quite an honor just to be nominated. There's so many great professionals in our industry, right? And to be recognized among a handful there is really cool. So I look forward to seeing you at FEM and meeting you there, and being in the room when that award is given, because I'm sure whoever wins is going to be truly deserving.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be there.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited too. I'm really stoked here. This is going to be my first FEM event. It's right here in Dallas. It's a home game for us. We're not going to comment on who's got better Tex-Mex. Is it Houston or is it Dallas? But we all know it's Dallas. So it's going to be great to invite you Houstonians up here. No, I'm just kidding. Houston is really good food. Really solid. Really solid. What are you looking forward to most about this event, Marie?
I think just connecting with peers again. I haven't been to, last year I did go to a conference in Houston to SHRM, their global conference, but I haven't been to a conference in a number of years, obviously with things that have been closed. But I think it'll just be nice to connect with people, and to, I love the topics and going to these kinds of events and taking back. I always end up with a notebook full of notes I've taken and ideas to see what I can implement, but it'd just be nice to connect with people.
Yeah, this is it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing, and there's gonna be so many new faces, even for me. And I feel relatively connected in this industry, and there's gonna be so many people I get to meet for the first time, Marie. So I look forward to seeing you and everyone there. Get in the comments, leave your 2 cents there. I want to know, who you are, what company you're with. Hit that like button. Send Marie some love down there in Houston. Marie, thank you so much for being on. We've got some more folks to talk to. So,
Thank you.
Marie, I gotta say goodbye, but I will see you soon.
Okay, thanks. See you there.
See you there, Marie. This is great, Hubert. People are so excited about this event here. Andrew Walker's checking in, says hi, Ben and Hubert and Marie from EY. How are you feeling about this event coming up, Hubert?
No, it's we're super excited, and I think one of the most exciting things here is that for first time our students are going to be able to experience what you have been experiencing for the past several years, and as I mentioned, it's a great platform. Marie mentioned networking, talking to people, and I think this is a great chance for students to actually get to know the leaders in the global mobility field. So it's fantastic. I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons, we're going to bring Joe Lee out here in a second from DS Americas Corporation, but before we do, one of the reasons we started Love+Relo was to bring the conference vibe, experience, energy to the cubicle, right? Because we realize we're so fortunate to be kind of the 1% that get to be in the room, right? At these conferences where all this magic happens and the magic of in person. And to be able to bring those insights and those connections and that warmth to people who are kind of out there practicing, but don't actually get a ticket to the dance, if I may use that, all the time, right? But they deserve to kind of have those insights and be able to also chime in and make their voice heard in the comments as well. So really happy to bring those students in the room as well, because they're the next generation for us.
Absolutely, and we are trying to curate, trying to develop, trying to create a new generation of global mobility professionals, and this entire ecosystem. What you are trying to establish is fascinating to bring all these players, all these actors from global mobility into Dallas, into UT Dallas. So thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to do so. And Deb's commenting here. Hard to believe there's someone in global mobility that you don't know, Ben. Yeah, Deb, I'm trying to meet them all, Deb. Okay, I'm on a quest. Okay, I'm here to meet them all here, Deb. And speaking of meeting them all, without further ado, let's bring Joe Lee out here. Joe
Hello.
Lee here from Dassault Systems. How are you doing, Joe?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I can't quite see Joe here. I don't know if Joe, can you see us there?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. How do we look? Be honest.
You look fantastic.
Don't answer that. Okay. No, Joe, it's good to have you on here. I'm not picking up the video. Let me pull them back one more time and bring them back out here a little bit. Oh gosh, we're not quite getting them there. Adam, how are we looking over there? Not seeing them, right? Yeah. Joe, you know what we're gonna do? Let's pull you back and then work on the connection a little bit, okay? Then there's Joe.
Oh, you see me now?
I got you now. Yeah,
Oh.
Joe.
That's amazing.
Good to see you there. Yeah. Now you're speaking on day one. You have a panel discussion you're going to be doing on the policy design and the new normal. Joe, what's that going to be about?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mobility, as we all know, it changes every day, every minute. And because of that, we're going to have a panelist, including myself, talk about how things are transforming from manual automation, self-services. But not only that, how the pandemic impacted, what is the future looking like from the telemarket perspective? What about D&I perspective? But at the same time, what are we looking for? What can we do as a mobility team and a person to provide a better service for our employees and companies as a whole? That's what we're going to talk about.
I love this topic, right? We talk about I love the new normal. And I love the fact you said it changes every minute, because we could get off this show and find out some countries invaded another country, some strain of something's broken out, some countries decided to leave some other block of countries, and all of a sudden it causes these massive, issues within global mobility. And how do we take care of our people and how do we get them where they need to be? And the last 3 years has probably been the most rapid concurrence of these events that I can remember in my relatively short career, I guess. Joe, I want to ask you what I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to take COVID off the table.
Sure.
What besides COVID in the last 3 or 4 years do you think has been the most impactful event that's impacted global mobility?
Most recent, when I say recent, it's a 1 year old already, but the war itself was most impactful because the company actually has both employees in both places. So we need to move people in and out of, but at the same time, making sure that we can and we are trying to help retain them because they are talents. So when I say that the country differentials is one thing, but then moving them out of or relocating them in whatever the mechanism possible, that we had to be creative enough to move them, including their family members. So that is one of the things that stands out. Of course, we try not to talk too much about the pandemic, but I mean, let's not forget, only 3 years ago, 3 years passed already. There are a lot of displaced employees. And not only that, let's not forget that even with that, as Maria was talking about it, the H-1B cap continued to increase. So we continue to lose our great talents because of the selection processes, which we are, as a mobility team, closely monitoring every year. So every year event, H-1B cap, any accidental event, probably the war that we face with, but then we had to move our employees in any location is possible. But at the same time, last not the least, the pandemic hitting the displaced employees, somebody who could not start the assignment. But at the same time, they give a lot of opportunity for a lot of mobility team members to try to look at the policy matters, because some companies' policy is long enough not to look at it so long. Now this is a great opportunity to, in fact, look back and saying, okay, is it really meeting current environment? Can we be more agile, adapt to any changes possible that's coming in the future? So it was a pretty eventful 3 years, and yeah, there were a lot going on and continue to be.
I feel like we should all get hazard pay for the last 3 years, right? Just working through this, working through all these kind of confluence of events here. Get in the comments. I want to know what you think. If you're watching this right now, what do you think has been the single most impactful event over the last 3 years, let's say? And let's take COVID out of it, because I think COVID is, and so it's so interesting that COVID has so many different aspects, right? From travel bans to, just the work from home shift where, everybody was working from home and now we're trying to pull them back in, but they're still largely working, so there's so much going on with that, right? I'd like to know from people watching, get in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think out there. And don't forget, Claire from FEM has put forward a contest for 2 free tickets to the Emmas. 2 free tickets to the Emmas. 1 for a corporate person, 1 for a supplier person. All you have to do is put in hashtag FEM Americas. Gotta get that plural. The S will get you if you don't do the S. FEM Americas plural, and then go in and actually just subscribe to receive information, so they actually have your contact information, because they're going to cross-reference the hashtag with the contact information. So make sure you do that to win a ticket to the most fabulous night in global mobility, if I may say so. I can say whatever I want. Got the microphone. So I'm going with that. Yeah, I'd love to know what people are saying out there. Mary Lee saying that is why we all love global mobility. Everything changes every minute, never a dull moment, and we are always learning something new. Yeah, 100%. Hello, Joe. Great to see you. Looking forward to your panel at FEM Americas.
Looking forward to it.
People are agreeing with Mary Lee for sure. Hit that like button. Let us know you're out there. Joe, I'm going to ask you, your panel is about policy changes to really deal with these impacts. What's one of the policy changes that you're coming across more and more commonly as you talk to your kind of colleagues out there in global mobility?
I think it's more flexibility and a choice of what they need. So let's say, for example, again, I mean, I don't like to go back to all history of a pandemic and all, but if you think about supply chain issues that we face with, any the geopolitical issues that we face with, that which impacted housing markets in APAC. Anything goes in terms of how our packages are provided within the policy matters. As a company, Dassault System, we start realizing that today's policy itself might be viewed as a too rigid in terms of what employees want and they can do versus what the company can offer or what the relocation management companies or our suppliers can manage. So because of that, that's the part that we took it back, even though the company as a whole took a look at the policy 3 years ago during the pandemic, we changed that and we are already start looking at it again saying, no, this may not be a good idea because we need to be agile enough to adapt to the changes that's coming. So if in any situation that's coming, as long as we are within the budget, within the business approval, then we should be flexible enough to give the right packages, right services to our employees to make their experiences more enhanced. So that's the direction the companies decided to take on, and we are currently being working on it right now. And in fact, this morning I was on that call with my leadership in France. So we start talking about what we do, how we do things. Is it agile enough in a certain situation? Can we adapt to it? I had to participate in the discussion this morning.
Wow. Do you feel like global mobility and the corporate folks, especially like yourself, have kind of gained a new strategic importance within organizations due to all the front page impacts that we've seen?
Absolutely. I think, again, past 3 years been very rocky, going up and down, population down, up, policy matter changes and all. But what it really impacted, and hopefully it applies to all the corporate folks and my colleagues as well, is that we always look for, if you think about it, only 3 years ago, before the pandemic, we always talk about talent movements, sit on the table. We always talked about that. I think we gained that after 3 years because all of a sudden corporate realized, raising hand and saying, okay, who knows about the tax matters? Who knows about immigration matters? Who can move people? We are the one who are moving people in a right way, in a compliant way. So I think the global mobility is now very well situated, very well recognized as a strategic partner and also problem solver as well. Let's not forget, we are the problem solvers. And any alternative solution that we can come up with, we can provide a good solution to the businesses to take on so that it can be fruitful for the corporates to continue the journey of the businesses. So yeah, I mean, we definitely have been doing great job for all the corporates wherever the mobility function is, and it continues today. So I'm happy with where we are as a global mobility community as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because you're right. Ever since I got into this business around 2011, it's always been, the conversation was seat at the table. How do we get a seat at the table, right? And how do we go further upstream? Do we partner with talent, talent management? Do we, how do we become more strategic and less reactive, right? And now here we go. We have our opportunity. Now Absolutely. It's like, what are we going to do with it? Are we prepared? Do we have the right skills and tools in our toolkits to deliver on those strategic opportunities that we have? Which is probably why it's so important to go to FEM and really kind of benchmark and share best practices with other leaders like yourself, Joe.
Yeah, so you're spot on. That's why I'm going to FEM as well, to meet with my colleagues and then new colleagues if possible. I'll see you as well, Ben and Hubert, and I will connect together. As Marie was mentioning, it's all about networking, connecting together, share, and it's going to be a great benchmarking sessions, learn each other, and I'll enjoy it. So that'll be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Hubert, when you hear Joe talking about kind of some of the impacts and policy changes, these are the kinds of things that comprise the case studies that your students are working on. What do you think that they would want to know, or what most interests them when it comes to policy changes and kind of the kind of macroeconomic factors that dictate these things and the impacts that we're talking about?
Yeah, I think Joe mentioned a couple of interesting concepts here, and he emphasized the term problem solving. What we try to do is instill, create a leadership group with students who are able to actually look at the trends, look at the conflicts, look at the changes in the world, and look at the problems that exist or might exist in the future and think about what are the possible solutions. So the Global Mobility Club with the Global Mobility Competition has been a platform for that, to understand what the problems are within the industry itself, and then think about presenting those problems to students and say, give us some ideas, give us some opportunities to understand how these problems can be solved by the industry.
Yeah, I remember seeing a case in the first year, I think it was, as Brexit was kind of, hot, right?
Right.
And it was around, I think it was like JP Morgan Chase has this large activity in the UK, right? London's such a big banking center. How's Brexit going to impact that operation, and where do they go and why, and how do they navigate that? And, some of these problems are really interesting and really strategic in nature, Joe, kind of to our point before. And I think it's really interesting to hear these students take on these things, because they might come up with some crazy ideas like ChatGPT or something could solve these things or whatever, right? And that's really interesting stuff,
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, I start using ChatGPT as well, and try not to disclose too much of a confidential information or company information. But I mean, it's not a fun factor; it's a reality. So who knows? I mean, it may give some great ideas that we never thought about. We may utilize that. But in the end, let's not forget, we as a human being are the one providing a service too. ChatGPT cannot beat us.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a great segue. Joe, I could talk about this for a long time, but I have to send you backstage. We gotta carry on and get to those students that we've been talking about. Joe Lee from Dassault Systems, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. We're going to keep it going here. First, we're going to bring out, before the students, we're going to bring Claire back out here as well. Hey, Claire, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. That was really interesting, wasn't it? I think
it was.
Joe's point about supply chain problems is, it's not just to do with work, it impacts our lives in every aspect now. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, may I comment on a couple of other things?
Yes,
actually,
please.
Ben, too. Yeah, so really interesting to hear Marie talk about her round table. I just wanted to mention that actually at our event, we always make sure that there's content for everybody. So whilst we have corporate-only round tables, service provider guests and attendees can go to a special leadership or presentation workshop. We've got one running on each day, and that's being run by Grant Herbert, who's a fantastic leadership coach from Australia. He's flying over from Sydney actually to run these two sessions, one on each day. So I think that's going to be really interesting as well. So he's going to help people polish up their presentation skills, their leadership skills. And then I think the other thing that I wanted to say about Marie, she mentioned the Global Mobility Professional of the Year and her nomination and how lovely it was. One of the things we did this year too, that the nominees don't know yet, is that we asked everyone who voted to also add a comment about the person they were voting for.
Oh, wow.
So whoever wins, whatever the result, we will send those comments to all the nominees, so they get to see all the great things that their colleagues and friends and peers have said about them. And it really is, it's lovely to read those things. So yeah, it's a very,
I love that,
warm sort of, I think that's one of the things about the Emmas that I love. It's when you see how much it means to people, and also it gives people an opportunity to show their appreciation for, people they know in the industry, which is really, really important, I think, because it is a really difficult discipline. We all work, everybody in it works really hard, and it's important to celebrate that too.
Claire, I think you're going to make people emotional is what's going to happen. I think someone's going to win. They're going to hear all these glowing things people are saying about them. They might just be, crying. I mean, they could look like a complete mess by the time they get up there, to be honest with you.
Well, I will.
You're going to have tissues there.
Yes.
This is great. You know what? We've actually got time for another guest who's on the from the corporate side as well, who's able to join us here. This is really special here. We're gonna, before we bring the students out and talk about the case composition, I want to bring one more guest out here. We got Nikunj Nirmal here from Amazon, actually, backstage. So Claire, I'm going to bid you adieu, part two.
Okay, thank you. Can I come back with the students?
You can come back again. Yes, Claire.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good. And we're going to bring There he is. Nikunj, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm here with Hubert here, and we're just I'm really kind of excited to talk to you here because you have a master class going on at FEM and your discipline with artificial intelligence. I mean, I'm really excited to hear your take on these things.
Sure. Thank you for having me on the show over here, and it's always nice to see and meet Hubert.
And you could.
Hey, uh, what I'm gonna talk about in my class is more about AI and how it's impacting everybody, not only in an individual way but in a professional way as well. And then taking a leap from there, not limiting the thought process just to impact of AI, but overall impact of technology on our lives, on globalization, how technology has impacted the advances in global business and vice versa, and how global business is pushing technology to advance further to make everything happen. So it's in a way a flywheel where each other keeps pushing each other, and we are seeing this spin faster and faster and faster and faster. And just it's gonna hit us all. It's already hitting us all, but I think there's a lot more to happen, and that's what I plan to share some thoughts, and I would also love to hear from the people over there and brainstorm some during that conversation.
I'm looking forward to it. I've got a couple questions myself that I've been dealing with here, and people who are watching this right now, hit that like button, get in the comments. I want you to, I mean, if you got questions for Nikunj here about AI, I want to know, what are you thinking? How is it going to impact the global mobility industry? How's it going to impact us on a daily basis? I'm really curious to think, to hear what you think out there. So if you're in the comments, I see Rob Zeitz checking in. I see Yasmin checking in here, Mary Lee. If you're in there, Michelle Henry's checking in as well. If you're in there, I want to know, if you're watching this right now, what do you think about AI? What is the impact going to be? If you have a question or a concern or a thought for Nikunj, I'd like to hear what you think. Rob Zeitz checking in from Air Inc. in Cambridge. He says the AI does not stand for artificial intelligence yet. I don't exactly know what that means. Where is artificial intelligence, Nikunj? How far are we right now?
Based on what I've known and seen so far, I think we are at it's a tipping point where a lot of different technologies are coming together. Also, people think of artificial intelligence as a unit, right? A lot of things have to come together for AI to actually deliver on its promises. So, simply speaking, if we want to make a workplace safer, AI is a bunch of algorithms that will come together. But then and then it enables, say, computer vision. But then it would need a lot of different sensors to come in. So now that we have an ecosystem of different technologies, AI is going to be able to take all of that together and then make decisions or suggest decisions to the individuals. Right? That is where I think uh, Chat GPT, for example, is a great example today, where everybody's talking about it, and it is great. I have tried a few use cases. I think it's a good generative AI. It comes up with really good responses and everything. But is that going to be enough? Can it operate in isolation? Absolutely not. It would need connections to the physical world, and I think that's where we should talk or think more about the entire ecosystem and how AI enables that entire ecosystem. uh, s- this is a very common use case: self-driving cars, right? Everybody is looking forward to it. How does that impact us? In a big way, at least personally, I can think it was, if it actually drives by itself, I can get maybe 1 hour a day to myself doing something productive. How does it affect the individuals? Probably we don't need as many drivers. How does it impact the companies like Uber? If they have their own self-driving fleet, it would mean that they would have less hassles in terms of managing the individuals, but it's more data driven at that point of time. It
I've
probably
got
drives the
to stop
profitability
you.
higher as well. Yeah,
You're talking about a self-driving car thing, and I want to run something by you. I got a question, okay?
sure.
Selfishly, okay? How long until I knock off at 5 o'clock on a Friday, I can get into my self-driving RV and wake up in New York at my in-laws' house on a Saturday morning. How long until that's a reality, Nikunj?
I think Elon Musk can answer that better. And if you believe his answer, that's one
I don't
thing.
know who you think we get on this show over here, okay? But I've been trying to get Elon on for years to no avail. But if you were to give me a guess, if you were to give me, all kidding aside,
I
how
would
far
say
away are we from something like that?
my guess is we are still about 5 years away.
I can wait. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, that helps me. So then you talked about ChatGPT and other things are kind of a far ways away because it hasn't connected to the outside world. But yeah, we're 5 years away from me waking up at my in-laws' house on an overnight trip unassisted. Things are moving very quickly. I think you'd agree, right?
Yep.
How do we best suit ourselves to be relevant in an AI machine learning kind of dominated world?
I think the best way to look at this is keep an eye out on how it impacts you, again, personally as well as professionally. If you think that your job can be impacted by any of these advances, you may want to start looking at reskilling yourselves, start looking at creating backups for yourself. You never know, and these are all estimates, right? When things would be ready. So a good time would be to start planning right now as individuals to see what that means for you. Also, think of the new jobs that it's going to create, new type of requirements it's going to create. Simply, I was just going through some news article, and apparently there is a rise in demand for the folks who can write the right prompts for generative AI. That's a new field altogether. So if you're a creative content producer, the AI can do a lot of content production as well. But then you are thinking now in terms of how would you use that? How would you be able to leverage that better? And that's where you are transitioning your skills slightly in a different way. And we are already seeing those jobs getting posted.
So
The people are coming into demand. Yeah.
So instead of writing 140 character social media posts, I'm writing, 1 or 2 line prompts. I'm using copy instead of copywriting, I'm prompt writing, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, super interesting. Well, that gives me a little consolation. Hubert, in a time and not too distant future where I need to reskill myself, is there an opportunity at UTD to do that? Like, I mean, I don't know what these skills might be. Nikunj, maybe you can tell me what I need to go learn. But Hubert, where do I sign up?
Absolutely. And Nikunj is actually a UTD alum, and he's a great supporter of activities that we do at UTD. He's part of our advisory board, the Center for Global Business. So thank you, Nikunj, for coming in and supporting this. To answer your question, I think this is something that we also talk to our students about, who are going to kind of come in pretty shortly here. It's we tend to kind of look into the academic environment in terms of majors, but it's all about the skills. And I think Nikunj just mentioned this, right? It's about these new skills that are going to actually conquer some of these areas that you need to really step up and learn fairly quickly, right, regardless of your major. And if you think about some of the majors that exist today, they may go away in the next 5 years, as Nikunj was kind of mentioning. So based on the technologies, we need to really open up a platform for our students to think in terms of skills, competencies, and rather than just barely majors and jobs that exist today. So,
Nikunj, I'm going to put you on the spot, and Professor Zadorek, I'm going to put you on the spot as well. Okay, I'm going to ask you what will be one of the most important majors, or at least redundant majors in the future in 5 years. What's something that if I have this major, I'm less obsolete than other people?
Nikunj, can you type that into ChatGPT and see what comes up?
Hold on 10
Exactly.
seconds and we'll have the answer. Nikunj, what do you think?
I would say
Unassisted.
if you can create the programs for AI, that's where the world is going. And my answer could be biased. I come from a strong technology background and I work in tech, so my answer could be biased. But I think that is definitely something where we will see a lot more requirements coming in. and to be able to build apps on top of these platforms. Right? I think that's where students can focus on, no matter which stream they are in. And fortunately, the skills are easy to acquire. There are resources available. I wouldn't say easy to acquire, but there are resources available if you want to use those resources, and then use your current major to tie both of it together. I think intersection is the sweet spot. If you know finance and if you know AI, you find an intersection. If you are a major of global business, how would you leverage AI for global business? I think that's where your key skills are going to be, because these tool sets are going to be available to everybody.
I love what you say about the kind of intersectionality of skill sets, right? So I was an English major. Because don't laugh at me. I was an English major, and now I'm in business, right? And my dad always laughs at me. Well, and a lot of people laugh at me, but my dad laughs at me. And I say, well, but I write $1 million emails, and I host a talk show, and I write posts on LinkedIn to get people to like it, and that somehow is monetizable. And he still laughs at me. But the point is, I found that intersection, and I think that's a great takeaway. Nikunj, I want to ask you before we let you go, what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone watching this who has questions about AI or what the future holds for them?
I think I'll go back to what I said earlier. Be on the lookout on the impact to yourself and as an individual, as a professional, and just make sure you are aware of what's happening. Continue to acquire adjacent skills that will keep you relevant and help you grow as well in your careers.
Yeah, and if you can, if at all possible, register to go to the FEM conference where you can hear Nikunj give a whole lecture on this uninterrupted masterclass, not a lecture, a masterclass, where we can actually workshop some of these things without my silly interruptions. Nikunj, I can't wait to see you in Dallas.
Same here. Looking forward to meeting you.
Thank you so much. And without further ado, we've adoed twice. Now, without further ado, I've always wanted to say that in proper context. Let's bring out the students. Let's bring out the students here. Let's see what the students. We have Jackson Passage from UTD. We've got Ari Losa here from UTD, and we got Hunter Chan from UTD. And there's Claire. Great. Hey there, everybody. How's it going, students?
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben. How are you?
Hi.
They're all so polite. They're all so nice. Yes, it's good to have you. So I'm really excited. Hubert kind of teed up for us a little bit the case competition. Claire, would you like to just, before we get into the students and how they're feeling about this case competition, would you like to explain exactly how this whole case competition is going to go down?
Yes, I think I mentioned it last week a little, but yeah, we're really proud to be giving the students a platform for this. And we're going to have the 3 top teams presenting their solutions to, I think, 3 different challenges, actually, to our audience. And then we're going to use Slido, so an app on everyone's phone, ask everyone in the audience to vote. And we will, while we're collecting the votes, we're going to have a couple of speakers from Talent Beyond Boundaries. So we're going to talk about how mobility can do good around the world. And then we're going to go back to the students and we'll present the prizes. And at FEM, we're very proud to be sponsoring these prizes and, handing them over. I have to say, I remember Hunter and Ari from last year. I came to judge the competition last year, and I was so impressed with everyone and also the organization from Jackson and Muna and the whole sort of GMC, the Global Mobility Club. I think it's incredible. They really are. It's so encouraging to see the future of business and global mobility, which I think is going to be in very good hands, actually.
Yeah, this is exciting. Let's I'm going to Claire, I'm going to send you backstage here so we can give the students a little bit bigger space, and some people are watching this on a phone. Jackson, I'm going to start with you because you're organizing this. You really are the brains and the brawn behind a lot of this organization here. Jackson, so what are you most excited about?
I'm excited for the students this semester to be able to present in front of the entire FEM audience. So like Claire said, the FEM attendees will be voting. And really, I think that will give the students a lot of benefit because last semester, Ari and Hunter, they got so much exposure just from the 40, 50 people we had in the room last semester. So giving them an exposure to an entire conference, I think will be a game changer for a lot of these students.
Yeah, totally. And I'm going to ask Ari, Hunter, Ari, I'll start with you. What was it like to compete in this case competition last year?
I think it was very nerve-wracking for sure. I hadn't really heard of global mobility before of the competition. So trying to
Right.
get a grasp of an entire industry and then also try and figure out how to solve some of those problems with my partner was very challenging, but also incredibly interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be nerve wracking. And then this year we're in front of a whole conference full of experts. You know, it's like no pressure there, right? Hunter, I'm told that last year you came in first place. What was that like?
Yes, sir. It was really cool. We felt great presenting, and after we went, actually, when we saw Ari's presentation, we didn't know if we were still gonna, as confident as we thought going in. They did really awesome as well, but that was really nice. I had some case competition experience before, actually, the one you judged a year ago, I think, for JSOM sustainability. So that was great, kind of coming into this, but also a very unique experience. But really cool because my dad does a lot of travel for his work and that kind of stuff. So it was really interesting to kind of get into this side of things.
You know, that's a really good point, Hunter, you made about, travel and everything. And, Ari, I'm going to ask you, what drew you to the Global Mobility Club and to present in this case competition? Why were you interested in this?
Well, there are kind of two parts to why I joined. The first part was I needed extra credit for Professor Zadork's class, actually.
Yes.
But the second part
Yes.
was it's kind of a combination of everything that I study. I study global business and international political economy, and that's like very relevant for the field of global mobility. So kind of being able to apply everything that I've studied for the past few years into a competition was very valuable.
Yeah, it's kind of like that intersectionality that Nikunj was talking about. I mean, I find that a lot in the students that make up your club, Hubert, that you preside over, is that, some of them might go on to be lawyers, some of them might practice in global mobility, some of them might go on to be economists or whatever. But there's a neat in intersectionality there, and a lot of personal stories that draw people to this club, I think, too.
Yeah, a lot of versatile leadership, versatile membership, and students who come. They come not only from my major, but they also come from other majors within School of Management, and they're drawn to this for a number of reasons. As Ari mentioned, one may be an extra credit in class, but some other is. More and more students are looking for engagement and exposure to industry professionals, and having this opportunity to stand up in front of 50 or even 300 people, it's something that all of our students will need to do at some point, and this is a great, safe learning experience for them. So,
Ari, did you ever think that maybe Professor Zador gave everybody lower grades so they had to participate for extra credit? Is that ever? I'm just kidding.
So.
I'm totally kidding. That was a total joke. No, Hunter, I want to ask you. You came in first with your presentation last year. Ari thinks she probably should have won, but that's beside the point. I'm just kidding. I like to stir the pot a little bit here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, no, but what was your? Can you give people a little kind of flavor for what your case was about?
Yeah, so we wanted to look at, the whole process kind of end to end for people that are engaging in these expatriate programs or just work abroad programs, things like that. So a few of the kind of solutions that we looked at was, first of all, kind of judging the demand within each firm or, each industry for who wants to participate in these kinds of things. I think that's most important first. And then with like flexibility and incentives from the company side, seeing how they can accommodate those demands within, again, their firm, within what kind of services and goods they provide around, all those different countries and markets and things like that. Then kind of in the middle of it operationally, what's the access and visibility like to, the way they can meet those demands? Do they have kind of internal job sites or, things like Handshake or Indeed, anything like that, where people can quickly go and access these resources and look to see, what aligns with their particular interests. And then kind of more on, I mean, of course, that also extends once they're over there. Hopefully, once they've been, put into these programs and get to participate, what can we find when they're over there? Who from the company or from the host country can kind of help them, not just survive, but do very well and succeed and do great things for their company and themselves. And then also when they come back, if they decide to come back, maybe they love it there over wherever they visit, but the reintegration program in their home country and their home company as well, I think is really important. And also the long-term sustainability of that program. If they enjoyed it, obviously they're going to, spread the word, try to get their friends and coworkers involved to, go and have some of those similar experiences. So that's kind of the high-level gist of it. But yeah, like I said, trying to look at everything end to end.
That's really interesting. That's one of the things that we have been seeing a growing trend in our industry around is solutions to make people feel more at home where they are. And of course we've had DSPs for years, but there's been other apps and communities that have popped up to address that because the failed assignment rate can be so high and so costly depending on the destination. I actually heard once that one of the highest assignment failure rate kind of combination origin destinations was US to UK, which really kind of surprised me. But I think what I was told by a kind of an intercultural expert was that people assume it's going to be very similar, so they don't prepare adequately. And then that failure to prepare creates kind of a bad situation. So love the thought that you put in that and everything. This is really exciting. Jackson, I have to also commend you, as I kind of mentioned before. Jackson, you do such a great job planning on all this stuff and putting this all together and coordinating everything. And shout out to Mona as well. Couldn't be with us today, but you really do a nice job. Anybody else you want to kind of shout out and give credit to, Jackson?
Yeah, all the GMC officers, Mona, Lakitha, Nafisa, Rishika, and Saishrita, who've been helping with our Jam Week events. That's our big event week every semester. So me and Saishrita worked on the career fair with you, Ben, as well. Thank you for all that help. And then Mona and Rishika worked on the case competition as well. And then Nafisa and Lakitha, they also worked on the webinar speaker series that accompanies the topics for the case competition. So really, it's a whole team effort that all builds towards the results of this case competition. So we're all very grateful for all of them.
Yeah, and we've got a question coming in here. And Jody Harris says, this sounds like projects I am working on. Can we see their projects? Is Jody allowed to steal their work, Hubert? No, I'm just kidding. Love Jody. Just kidding. No, but seriously, how can people kind of benefit from this? Is there a way for people to kind of participate?
Yeah, we can connect with participants as well, and we can work with you if you're interested in seeing our students work.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Christina saying, Jody Harris, I'm so impressed. Yes, right. It's really cool. This is awesome. I'm going to say thank you so much to Jackson and Ari and Hunter, and I'm going to send y'all backstage and I'm going to bring Claire back out, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Great. Thank you so much, Ben. Thanks for having us on again, and looking forward to seeing you at FEM. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We'll bring Claire back out here for the grand finale. Claire, you've waited so patiently. I know it's late where you are.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just after 10 o'clock here, but
oh my gosh.
It's a normal day, actually, pretty much.
Probably have a lot of late nights leading up to this
early
conference.
When you're doing an event. Yeah, exactly. I should have mentioned actually earlier that obviously Hubert and many other of the professors at the faculty are also taking part in our event. It's not just the students, though. I'm very proud to be working with them, and I think they're fantastic. Just lovely listening to them, because the lack of cynicism, I think, as a cynical Brit, it's so good to hear that. Yeah, so Hubert, you're going to be talking at the start of our event, I think, for a short time, aren't you, about, the future of talent and how you're educating that. And then on day 2, we have a research session that the professors are running, distinguished Professor Ricky Tauchi, I think, and several of them are going to be doing that. So again, our audience can take part in that and find out what it's like to, have some academic research that helps them find the way through some of the problems that, you know, that they're all facing. So I think there's a really big mixed program, lots of industry experts, you know, all the sort of normal things that you expect at a conference. It's going to be very, you know, busy. It's going to hopefully make everybody work pretty hard, but also enjoy themselves at the networking sessions too. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone at last, because this has been a long time in the planning.
Yeah, this is great. And Jody Harris is saying, haha, not still. Yes, I know, Jody. I was just kidding. Share ideas. I think college students always have new ways to think of things. Love to talk to them. Yes, for sure. Claire, I think this is just a testament to everyone's interest in this year's FEM conference. I'm seeing so much energy, so much interest, so much curiosity, you know, about what's going on, because there's all these new elements, right? You have the case competition, you know, all these things, and it's here in Dallas, and everybody's so excited about it. So I'm just absolutely thrilled, and this is just great. It's really great, Claire.
Well, thank you very much for all the support you've given us, Ben. We really appreciate it, and of course to Hubert and the university. You know, it's been a really interesting project. We normally do our events at hotels, but this is a new departure, and it's been a really interesting and exciting one. So I'm looking forward to the real thing, 3rd and 4th of May. So I hope everybody in the audience is going to join us too.
Yes, and don't forget, if you're watching, hashtag FEM Americas, put it in the comments and enter to win a ticket to the Emmas, whether you're a corporate or a supplier. Enter to win, and make sure that you register for FEM notifications and events. The
if you subscribe, we'll have
Subscribe.
you in our list. Yes, because we need your email address to be able to contact you.
Yes, that is right. Enter to win here. Yes, the links are coming up here.
That's
Rob
it.
Zeitz, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in Dallas.
Oh, it'd be
And,
great to see Rob.
Yeah, this is going to be great. Hubert, are you excited about this?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Claire. Thank you for your collaboration with us, and we look forward to seeing everybody at UT Dallas in May.
Yeah, not long now.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're going to be at the Aloft Hotel as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. So can't wait to see everybody there. Sorry we've gone long. We just had a lot to talk about, y'all. Just had a lot going on. So anyway, hey, I will see everybody there. And we will also be broadcasting live from the event as well. So make sure to check your calendars for that. We'll be putting out some special times, I'm sure. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Hubert. Thank you, all the students and our wonderful corporate guests as well. And to all who watched today, hit that like button, get in the comments, hashtag FEM Americas.